Hello,
just start hosting it. We'll give our own commentary.
everyone.
He could just pull it up and
Welcome
I'll
to
just pretend to know what I'm talking
Fanfiction
about
Theater
while you guys...
9001. Now, I know we're starting a bit late here, but...
Sneaky was too busy trying to drink and forget that he had to do the show.
No, I wasn't doing those things. Who told you that?
Then what were you doing?
Important things. Like
Were you masturbating again?
driving.
You see, guys, he has this shrine to Trump. He doesn't like to talk about it, but I do, because everyone needs to know about it.
And of course, we should all just ignore Atin and move on with our lives. And in that direction, do not contact any of the people we feature in this here podcast. Because, Twitch guidelines. Not mine, Twitch's. Now, this is a Song of Ice and Fire fic. I know, we're going a bit out of our comfort zone, as you could call it today.
Song of Ice.
Do you guys know anything
Fire.
about it? Like, am I the only one who's read it?
The only thing I know about Song of Ice and Fire is never, ever accept an invite to a party of any kind. That's all I know.
So, this was recommended by someone. I think this was C8 who recommended this.
It probably was C8.
So I know marginal amounts of Song of Ice and Fire, so I'm gonna be leaning heavily on Atin to fill in my gaps here.
Okay, I read the books a real long time ago.
Excellent.
Good. This is going to go horribly.
Oh yeah,
Like,
no, the epic rap battle was great. Yeah.
I think the last time I read those books was my
Well, I'm
sophomore
actually
year of
really
high
sad
school.
that Game of Thrones is going full SJW.
How?
How is
Okay,
that?
so
It's about
what happened
murder
is
and
that
rape
yeah,
and pillage.
but the problem is what happened is that the Game of Thrones TV show is basically going Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
Full
we know
Alchemist.
this.
What's that got to do with SJWs?
Okay, so Full Metal Alchemist surpassed its manga in terms of output speed.
Sneaky.
So they just came up with some really stupid, wild shit. And now that Game of Thrones can no longer rely on the books to write the plot for them, the writers are like, oh,
George is still consulting on that.
yeah, I know, but it's like George.
Okay, look, I just want to say, I don't think that the original Full Metal Alchemist anime was that bad. I'm not saying they didn't go
I'm just
do
saying
weird
Full Metal
shit.
Alchemist Brotherhood was just vastly superior.
Well, yeah, because they had the benefit of actually knowing how the story concluded.
But anyway, so my point being is that now it's actually up to the writers to actually write it. There's it's basically it's turning into Ruby tier writing. In that, like, the main woman with the dragon summoner queen person has got like this army of marauding rapists who are no longer marauding and they no longer rape. Also, they're afraid to go over the ocean, but they're going over the ocean as well now. And it just basically the Dragon Queen girl is turning into a feminist Mary Sue. Because that's the only way they know how to move the plot forward. So, yeah, it's not Ruby tier, but it's getting there. Consistency 404 not found yet, basically. That's the only thing I know about Game of Thrones in the recent news. Is that it's just been complete, absolute garbage. But anyway, so Man of Valerian Steel. Imagine if the son of Krypton. I don't know why this isn't a Superman crossover, but whatever. Imagine if the son of Krypton landed in Westeros, raised by farmers, the humble child.
My god, this is already a retarded idea!
Yes. The humble child of the stars will search for his purpose in life, his mysterious origins, and You will decide whether
Does
to
this
save the world
person
or let it burn.
understand what the entire point of Game of Thrones is and why it exists?
Minor crossover only. Minor crossover only. Hi guys, I'm taking Superman and putting him in my story. This is a minor crossover.
Okay, look. Superman has a lot. Depending on who writes him, Superman can be a really great time or a really bad time. But regardless of that, no matter who's writing Superman, Superman is always going to be the strongest guy around because he's Superman. Like, fuck. He could probably beat up most of the servants in Fate.
Yeah.
Like, I think the only one he couldn't just outright
No!
spank would be
No,
Gilgamesh.
no, you gotta keep in mind, Superman is vulnerable to magic.
Actually, yeah, no, I was about to say.
Actually, sometimes that depends on which version of Superman.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Yes, he is vulnerable to magic, but part of that is you still have to hit him. So, like, the actual magician servants, they whoop him.
Actually, most of the non-magician servants also use magic. In fact, their very being is made of magic.
Well, the very being made of magic doesn't actually do anything to Superman.
Megalovanian.
No, that includes their weapon. Their weapon is technically made of magic as a result as well, due to
Yes.
how servants materialize.
I'm aware.
Being able to hit him immediately makes them a counter to him.
It's like saying planes
Right,
are vulnerable
but
to
he
rocks.
can go, Max. He can move fast enough to go back in time.
Yes, Arn. We've already established this.
Yeah, I know.
Yes,
the
yes,
problem
I know.
Is
He
wanting
doesn't have
to
any
say this to the guy
particular
who hates
weak-
God Superman as an idea. I prefer
I
the older
get it.
Superman.
Yeah,
I prefer
as
the
Arn is saying,
Superman
Arn's
that can look at
bringing
the
up
Flash
my
and
old
be like,
comment.
yeah, no, I will never be able to outspeed you, but that was a fun race.
Arn's bringing up my old comment, guys.
But he can still go fast enough to go back in time. It
just
takes him a
because
lot more
Superman
effort.
isn't weak to magic is like saying a normal person isn't weak to a bullet.
Actually, no. Isn't the Superman, isn't the going back in time thing only from the movies? And that wasn't even him going back in time. That was him reversing
That's in the
time?
comics. It's in the comics.
Cast a spell on Superman to cut him off from the sun.
The early action comics, but it's there. It's just straight there. Like, no ambiguity about it. He flies fast enough to go back in time.
Anyway, so I'm going to mute these two, and they can keep their discussion going, and I'm just going to keep reading. It was a dark and cloudless night. The stars could be seen twinkling in the sky. A couple, Jonathan and Martha Kent, were... Okay, I don't know too much about Game of Thrones or...
Those are not Game of Thrones names.
Yeah, I mean, yes, obviously, but I also want to... I don't know too much, but as far as I know, this is fairly good recreation of medieval society. The peasants wouldn't have last names. Just, correct me if I'm wrong. Do people have last names in Song of Ice and Fire?
They do have last names, some of them. Like, not just like the super well-to-do people. In fact, most people have last names because pretty much every region has a common last name given solely to bastards.
That's fair enough. There's lots of bastards. Anyway, so, blah, 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 blah. Oh, this is beautiful, beautiful. You are perfect wife. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's a sex scene. It's just straight up a sex scene. Okay. Yep. Well, okay, well, you reported.
What the hell?
Let's see. Sex scene, sex scene, sex scene, sex scene. Explicit content. Explicit content. There we go. It's a straight sex scene. Three, 6, 7.
You better not be logged in under. Oh, wait, no, this is just a report. Oh, jeez. What's this right?
I am an egalitarian in this. Would it be better if there was a gay sex scene? No. I would still report that.
It's a scene that contains sex, which they are not supposed to do.
Which is explicitly outlined in the rules of things you aren't supposed to do. So, yeah. Moving on. This one. Story not found. Excellent. That's always a good day. This one. Danny Phantom Ruby. Oh. Oh
This...
no. Oh. Oh no.
By the way, just a real quick suggestion for anyone who wants to read like an actual good Superman story where Superman doesn't grow up in America, go read Red Sun. That's a
Red Sun was good.
Great one.
Yeah. Danny Phantom Ruby crossover. The Phantom Emperor. He was called many things. Criminal, degenerate, villain, and they might be right. He couldn't even save those closest to him. He did the only thing he could do. He took his own life. Danny Phantom committed suicide.
Yep! The Ghost Man committed suicide.
Let me, get it up. Okay, Average Lord Banner's up. Let's go. However, he wakes up in the middle of the forest, but, quote, what the hell, I look like Wolf. What happened to me? Grim Danny. Powerful Danny. Violence, swearing, and torture. No lemons, though.
Well, they obeyed that part of the guidelines.
Yeah, Sneaky, out of curiosity, the one that you just reported,
Yes.
was that the Man of Valyrian
Yes.
Steel? But where is it a sex scene in there? Because I just skimmed through the prologue at least.
Right at the start, his seed was dripping from her legs.
I hate to admit it, but he is correct. That is indeed a sex scene.
Edgy story alert indeed. It's just like, okay, so first off, let's so we haven't done this in a while. Let's break down everything wrong with this summary. So, first off, the edgy title. Second off, the intro, he was called many things: criminal, degenerate, and villain. I'm sorry, are we talking about the same character here?
Are they talking about Danny Fenton?
He was referred to as a criminal at some point in the show, but that was about it, and that was very quickly cleared up.
I mean, like, the show literally ends with literally all of Amity Park and or maybe the world, it's been a while, being like, oh yeah, Danny Phantom is a hero.
Yeah!
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so then we got apparently everyone dies, and then he commits suicide over it. So like we're just gonna take Danny Phantom's character and we're just gonna toss it in the trash, and then we're gonna take whatever character was left after that, toss that in the trash, and then we're just gonna take a 5-year-old idea of edgy and put that in instead.
Boy, we are just 0 for 2 so far.
Yeah. And then let's see. So then the hated trope of mine of, oh no, I am kill. Oh, what? I am awake now in new world with superpower.
Like, I despise that cop-out, so, like, I despise it more than, fuck you, here's a portal.
Okay, now, to be fair though, I am reading several isekai, like one, I'm a death mage and I don't want to die again.
No, there's a difference between the isekai trope of, I die and then a specific being puts me there, and I'm dead, now I'm somewhere else.
Yes, that's true, yeah.
At least one has the nonsense caveat of divine intervention. The Deus Ex, as it is.
Deus Volt! And then number let's see, number 5, number 6 sins here in the summary alone. It's a quote. You don't put quotes. You don't put dialogue quotes in your summary. Also, you misspelled wolf.
How did they spell wolf?
What the hell? I look like wolf. WULF. What happened to me?
Oh, that's why it sounded familiar. No, he's talking about, like, the werewolf ghost. Wolf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
wolf.
that guy.
Sneaky, is this guy American? Because I sure hope not. That's a good question. He is American! Oh boy! Oh wow, we got one of those edgy as hell, profiles too. Age, not telling. Real name, classified. Live in USA, state classified. Hello, I am fanfiction reviewer and challenge maker. It never occurred to me to make an account, but some things I see are kind of bland these days, so I am making challenges for other people to try and create. But are you man or woman? I don't know enough to complete them. We will see. Dana can prototype Ruby. Dana can be a faunus.
I decided to look. Apparently, he has one of the story. This motherfucker is writing Bakugan fanfiction in the year 2018.
That man is dedicated.
What the hell is this character bio? Phoenix Blue Albatross. Nicknames: Birdie Blue, the Mute Monster, God Eater, Blood Alpha. Sex: female. Weight: 240 pounds of pure muscle.
Okay, that's...
I just... I'm not gonna lie, that's almost as strange to me as, like, fucking Sagat from Street Fighter. Man is 7'5". He is by no means a skinny man.
Okay, Atin, I know you can feel me on this one, right?
Oh no.
What I'm gonna say now, I know you can feel my agony and pain.
Oh no.
This character has one eye to be edgy.
Yeah!
They have one eye. Well,
like, all of my OCs that I make to represent me all have one eye because I don't know how two eyes work. Okay? I can't make characters with two eyes that represent myself because I don't know how that works.
What's depth perception? Yeah, I'll be damned if I know.
And then
What's
I
it
get
like
on
to
the
be
internet.
able to aim?
And then I get on the internet,
We've
and everyone's
been
like,
over
"Oh,
this
I got
so
one
much.
eye because it's a scar from the
But
accident
mine is
of my
even worse
nemesis."
because I still have trouble aiming because I still have to try to do it with only one. but I have another eye that works. It just isn't working with the other eye. It's an asshole. It wants to do its own thing and look somewhere else.
Mental health. While normally cheerful and happy, she suffers from PTSD psychological breakdowns when left alone. These also happen when people ask about the scars.
Okay, first off, that is not how PTSD works.
If one of blood is attacked, she will not hesitate to decimate origami in her path to protect them. Although she has been scolded as reckless. I don't even know what this character is for. Is this a Ruby character?
Oh, Lord.
Is it?
Well, it says blood power / semblance.
I'm sorry, blood power.
It's a God Eater character, okay. It's just...
Huh.
Oh. It's just... oh. Gun. She uses an assault gun.
What? What in God's name is an assault gun? There's like 30 things. That could be an assault rifle, it could be an assault shotgun, it could be a trench gun.
She has a secret. She has mismatched powerful origami parts, and so it has gained sentience, and she has
what I want to see?
Weapon,
I want to see a Ruby character
Ripper.
whose primary weapon is just a trench gun.
Wow!
Welcome to the Grim.
Oh, this is a crossover character. This is a God Eater Ruby crossover character.
You're welcome.
I'm not looking, and you can't make me.
I can't make you, but it's still there. You'll never be able to ignore it. It exists. By the way, assault guns are an entire class of weapons. So which assault gun is it?
I can't take any more of this crap. She is able to invoke the blood powers in other people and swap blood arts on the fly.
Is this like a Bloodborne character? Is that what's going on here?
This is a God Eater Ruby cross.
Look, I don't know what God Eater is, so I'm gonna keep making my dumb jokes.
Okay, so imagine the prequels to the Soulsborne series.
Sneaky, I just summed it up. It's Animu Monster Hunter. That's all they are.
But Monster Hunter is already anime.
Yeah, except this is more anime.
Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter is just Monster Hunter. This is
so like God Eater, or they're all like super special, edgy, chosen ones.
Thank you, Arn.
Oh, they're all Odin from Fire Emblem.
Yes.
Got it.
Yep.
But less entertaining.
Also, they have their weapons are like bloodbound to them because they're like made out of the creatures they destroy.
You know, Sneaky, I think we should do a God Eater stream one day.
I'm pretty shit at it.
We can suffer together.
I mean, if it's group suffering, I'll show up, I guess.
I mean, maybe Max will have to play because I don't think it's co-op.
I think I don't know about the first one.
Max, what you have sent me is a tank.
No, Arn sent that. I sent you a wiki page from God Eater.
Oh, it is co-op? Okay.
I don't remember the first one. The second one should be.
Well, I mean, we'll do that. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, God Eater 2, multiplayer and co-op. What about the first one?
Anyway, so yeah.
How many people though?
So the final thing before we move on is apparently her weapon is sentient and eats souls, and actually turns into a Grim and eats the souls of Grim.
No one's saying you don't know your tanks, Arn.
No, this is the Bakugan Brawler.
I was saying, no one at any point implied you didn't know your
Why are we looking at...
tanks.
Oh, that's the Bakugan Brawler thing.
Oh.
You ever want to see what, like, horrible power creep looks like? Just look at the Bakugan trading cards.
Alright, so back to the edgiest shit Danny Phantom story. I know it has been a long time since I uploaded a story, but I just wanted to get this out of the way. I think you are going to enjoy this one. Now, the Danny you all know is going to be just a little bit out of character, and you'll see why as the story goes on. And don't worry about the mute savior. That will be updated.
This is something people don't seem to understand. There's a significant difference between out of character and I changed the character because that is in line with what has occurred in the story.
Alright, so now this is taking place during the battle after the battle in the ultimate battle enemy battle, but Danny was not able to capture the Dan in a thermos, and Clockwork could not save his family. I'm so glad you're telling us this is all happening instead of showing us this is happening, but you know, whatever. Thoughts, speech, Dan's perspective. The weakling on his knees with tears in his eyes looked at the destruction of the nasty burger. He could only say one thing: I failed. He then looked over at me, who took them away battered, bruised, and lying on the ground is himself, yet not himself. A mistake! But it was not over, as both of them were still breathing. Yes, you did laugh, Dan Phantom. Why do I get the urge to read this like Half-Life, Full-Life Consequences?
I don't know. It's written about as poorly.
You failed them all, and now you will become me. I then started laughing and laughing, eventually stopping and pulling myself out of the ribble. I continued to rise, and then when you know, it is not so bad. At least I spared you from actually killing them, although I bet you would have loved it. No, I wouldn't. I am not like you, Danny immediately responded, but the way he was sweating and shaking in fear made him seem unsure of himself. I circled around in front of him and looked down with a sneer of disgust on his pale blue face. I reached down and grabbed my weaker self by the collar of his torn-up hazmat suit, splashed with a mixture of green and red. I looked into my weaker self's eyes, hoping to grab the look of terror that would be plastered on his face, to look into the past and see the anger that made him today, only to let go and back away in shock, as the look was not of anger or sadness, it was just empty of emotions.
What the fuck is going on?
I don't even know what's happening. What is Half-Life, Full-Life Consequences? Okay, so
No!
Half-Life, Full-Life Consequences! It's a Half-Life fanfic that's absolutely hilarious. John Freeman asks for help. Oh, it's
not
great.
Hilarious in a good way, mind you.
No, it's hilarious in the best way, because someone also turned it into a machinima.
Yes, I'm aware. So what I'm hearing is all we need now is for there to be a My Immortal Machinima, and it'll achieve the same status.
I mean, unique skill degenerate.
No. That's Isley's unique skill.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Warhammer Goblin Slayer Cross. Thank you, Isley.
Oh, let's see this!
Right.
Oh, is that what was given to us by Isley?
That's what Isley has just given. So now that we've established that we have no freaking clue what is going on here, they fade away. No, I will die unless he fuses me with plasma. But for some reason, I don't have the strength to move. Just listen. What is happening to me? I then saw he is charging Ectoblast, but I did not know, so I decide to ask. What planning, kid? I asked, curious to see what he was planning.
What?
There are 3 voices in my head. Plasmus, Phantom, and me, I answered honestly, still feeling this strange feeling constricting my core and chest. Can I speak to Phantom? He asked in a whisper, just loud enough for me to hear, but still soft.
Okay, so wait, is this trying to say that there were 3 Dannys?
I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Well, because there was older evil Danny, right?
Yes, that's Dan.
What
Fine, you can talk now, Phantom. Thank you, now find out why he is like this. You wanted to speak to me. The words came out of my mouth, but they sounded like his. His words or his mouth? Do you still remember when we both died, how we were in pain and screaming? I starting to get scared for my past self as his questions.
C8. Put that away.
What did he get out?
Oh god, no, we're not doing story time with my immortal.
No.
Put it back in the closet!
Okay,
Put it back in its
I
creepy
appreciate
closet.
Isley's dedication because now we got 2. We got 2
Yeah.
Goblin Slayer fixed.
Wait. Oh god. Maybe we'll get lucky and one of them's good.
No.
Nah.
Alright, so let's do the Naruto Goblin Slayer one first because that's shorter.
Oh, Naruto Goblin Slayer? Oh, that's not gonna go well.
Naruto Goblin Slayer.
Could.
Shinobi. Died and woke in New World without most of his powers. Why and what do now? Naruto times Sword Maiden.
You sound in pain. Is there anything I can do to help?
In the vastness of space on the surface of the moon, 2 figures could be
Oh, we're
seen.
just jumping straight to the next one, are we?
Naruto Uzumaki, the immortal sage, was looking extremely
I'm sorry, why is
tired
Naruto on the moon?
and cynical. This event
Why is Naruto
that
on
had
no,
started
no,
years
why is
ago
Naruto
had-
on the moon?
had made his life difficult and was made him witness countless death at hands of immortal scum of Otsutsuki clan. Today was his 50th birthday, and he had decided to finally decide the
Wait,
fate of his
how
world
does he
with a
know
decision.
How does he know he's immortal if he's just now turning 50?
That I was gonna say
I
that's
know what Sword
awful
Maiden is.
presumptive.
Yeah, like, I'm the immortal sage. Boy, I just turned 50 today. I hope it's a good day. Hmm?
Yeah, typically people don't make the immortal claim until, like, they see a whole civilization rise and fall.
Like, at least wait until you make it to like 100.
Well, no, not even that. Like when you see a full civilization rise and fall, you can be pretty well assured that you're like, yeah, I'm probably not dying of old age anytime soon.
I appreciate.
So what? I have to wait until I become Vandal Savage?
Yes,
I mean, I'm okay with that.
I hate you so much, Isley.
What did Isley do? Wait, hang on. What's Isley been doing?
This story. Isley went to this story.
There's only 4 Goblin Slayer crossovers?
Unfortunately, apparently.
I imagine we're gonna get a whole lot more.
I honestly, I don't know how you can write a Goblin Slayer story in general, because it is literally, I go kill goblins.
Yeah, honestly, what makes the story interesting is the characters. Like, Goblin Slayer is very much a character-driven story.
Like,
so
genuinely read the manga because it's actually hilarious. It's like, I'm bringing you out here on this trip to go look at this really neat, cool ruin. Are there goblins here? No?
No, I'm gonna go find some
I'm
goblins.
gonna go find goblins. There's probably goblins here? Alright, let's go kill the goblins.
My
Yeah,
favorite
like-
thing is he makes it to silver by murdering goblins.
Oh yeah, that's the best part too. And everyone's like, "Okay, seriously, man, you're silver. Why do you keep doing this? Because they're a problem."
Well, no, it's not even that. It literally, when he was asked why he does this, it's because someone has to save the villages, and because no one ever came from my village, and it's like
No,
genuinely good motivation and like character development.
I'm
in this
aware, Sneaky, and he made it his duty as a result. Like, I'm not done until I can be sure every goblin is dead. Period. Until they stop being a problem, I'm not gonna stop what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Which is fantastic.
And everyone is just like, yo, seriously, man, we could actually use your skills at the front lines. Are there goblins at the front lines? No, then fuck off.
Then I'm
I
gonna go
haven't
kill
yet.
some goblins.
I haven't killed all the goblins yet.
Like, and what's interesting too is that like the author goes out of their way to be like, okay, this is why goblins are a problem, but this is also why they're not treated seriously.
Yeah. But anyway. Blah, 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 blah. Today he would decide the fate of the world with a decision to do the experimental technique of extreme power. He had been discouraged by others before, for it would take his life, but situational had changed, and there was no more time left. The Otusuki clan was weaker than him, and Sasuke was alone, but they made up with numbers. No matter.
I think you misread that sentence. I think the author doesn't know how to English.
But they made up with numbers.
No, I think it was supposed to be like on their own, Otsutsuki members were weaker than him and Sasuke, but they made up for it with numbers. Like, this is badly worded. This
Very
is badly
poorly worded.
This is badly worded enough to make me speak up.
I'll check it later, Arn. There's like 100 missed messages. I'm not gonna go through them on the stream right now.
Yeah, he sent some good things though.
I'm sure he did. I just, I'm literally running 3 servers, and I'm active in 4.
Stop running 2 of those servers.
Alright, time to delete. Now that's what I call shitpost.
Which one is that?
Our personal one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah!
I mean, that one's really not seeing much use. But I
think
think we should keep it so that we can still keep bitching about the fans.
I always think of it as the chuckle fucks though, because I don't think of anything by the icon. I think of it by the server name.
It's just been so long I actually forgot the name of the server, but I know the icons now. That's what I call shitpost.
Ah! Good job.
Oh my god.
The last message posted in the private sub is literally a month ago.
In the private sub.
Oh, 9/27. Oh, sorry. That's only like 3 weeks ago. I don't know how to count. Don't look. I don't know how to count either. Look, I had an hour of sleep today, and I just worked a 12-hour shift. Okay, my brain is literally pulling zeros. Anyway. So blah 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 blah. No matter how many they killed, there was no reprieve. With forbidden techniques and so much power at their disposal, the immortal army were endless. And finally, they had gotten him in a surprise move. He had been cursed, and there was no one who got break it.
What?
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 Huh?
Yep, that there. Hold on. There be some proper English, it be.
There was no one who got break it. What? Oh. It would lead to his death within a year, so you're not immortal then, because of his enormous power. Otherwise, he would have died in a day. So you're 356 times more powerful than the curse?
365. You had it right the first time. Why'd you second guess yourself?
Look, Max, you know why I second guess myself.
Because your instincts are shite?
Yeah? My instincts are great. I'm just really bad at trusting them. Because I almost always get it right on the first guess, but I'm just sitting there like, no, wait, that has to be wrong.
Because here's the thing, Sneaky, you're so used to being wrong that you're just like, that can't possibly be right. And then you second guess yourself, and so you're wrong, thus reinforcing the idea that you're wrong.
At least it's not he adjusted his fedora with his second lung penis level of bad. I'm not going to ask, and you're not going to answer.
There will be no show and tell today.
Thanks, Steve.
Aaron, where are you finding this stuff? Stop it.
I don't know. Okay, yep, it's more memes and shit posts. Okay.
Yep.
God damn it. I fucking hate all of you. Anyway, so
Oh god, that one hurts.
Naruto, you don't have to do this. We can still
I'm gonna have
fight,
to
and we
mute
will
that for
conquer
the
the
time
curse if you just give it a chance.
Okay, we'll just mute that channel for now.
Give the curse a chance? What? And you're not even 100% sure it would work. Naruto turned to face his best friend. Why are they on the moon?
That, I was gonna say, that is still my overarching question. Why are they on the moon? That hasn't been answered.
Who still looked like he was in his late 20s, but he mellowed down so much from the passage of time and their grandchildren. His words made him feel hesitance. Hesitance. I can't tell if the author spelled the word wrong or not.
I think they did. It looks like they did.
No, that's correct. But he held tight, thanks English, as he knew deep within that it was time, that his fate, since he had been born, and it was time he looked up to his duty as child of prophecy seriously to the end, so that everyone could be free. What? Why are they on the moon?
Don't know.
I'm
looking to try and figure out if this might actually be a sequel like someone suggested, but...
He could feel tears in his eyes from the regret that he would never be able to see his loved ones again. So let the tears flow one more time for the last time, and said in gentle tone, "It is only past, Sasuke. No matter what you say, it will not change the outcome. You know me since we were children. Do you think it possible to change my mind? Leave and protect the world I leave behind in your hands, brother. Pass me the oats, brother. I starve." Because fuck you, they're on the moon.
Fuck you. That's why.
Sasuke had tears flowing from his eyes, and he wanted to stop him, but he knew it would only make it worse. So he left without looking back with a heavy heart, leaving Naruto to his fate. Naruto had already prepared for this plan, and had created barrier to protect the planet.
What?
What?
What is going on?
So he flew far
You
away.
still haven't answered why they're on the moon!
So he flew far away from the moon and started going through the process. Chaos degrade. A pulse was released towards the locations which he had marked as enemy territory, breaking them down to nothing. Multiple dimensions collapsed, the universe collapsed, and no threat left, and no more Uzumaki Naruto.
What?
What?
I'm sorry. I'm having a little trouble accepting that Naruto be like, oh, I'll just condemn infinite amounts of lives because fuck it. What the hell?
I'm just gonna delete the universe. Hold
not
on,
even the,
guys.
Not even universe. It mentions universes. Multiple. He just killed the multiverse.
The anti-monitor is jealous.
The anti-monitor is impressed.
Now there's an old school comics reference.
Naruto had thought he would open his eyes and meet his family in the pure world. Didn't you delete it? But reality was different than he expected, as he was standing in a field, and as far as he could see was a normal village below the hill. I should have died, so why is this so? What? What kind of dialogue is this? Naruto thought as he looked at the surrounding in his body. I feel very minuscule energy inside my body, barely Genin level, and the body is like normal human. I never dreamed I could end up becoming so fragile. Naruto smiled calmly as he took out the sword from his sheath.
Christmas story on us there.
He did.
It was a cheap little thing and swung it around. It should do, but I really do need to continue. Not good question. If I am alive, then I shall live to the best of my efforts, Naruto concluded as he walked towards the village with casual steps, and he felt the uniqueness of the heaviness of his body felt from the weight of his equipment. What?
What is going on?
Is Naruto the Goblin Slayer? Is that what's going on here?
Oh my god, yes, he's just the Goblin Slayer.
Is he the Goblin Slayer?
He just took over, I bet he just took over the Goblin Slayer. That... You know what would be more interesting?
What?
Younger, like, pre-God Naruto gets thrown and ends up just traveling with the Goblin Slayer. That'd be immediately more interesting than this.
Oh, well, yeah.
Naruto has to learn.
Yeah, like, Naruto has to learn how to survive without chakra. He still keeps his taijutsu, but now he also learns how shit it is when it doesn't have a weapon included.
I have to go to bed now, but I hold each and everyone here accountable and in contempt for a truly horrific fanfical experience. The fact that this is what I will be thinking of when I go to sleep disgusts me.
Okay, good night, Sean.
We are
Good night,
here
buddy.
to deliver, and we have delivered. We offer nothing but what is on the tin.
Which is sadness.
We guarantee nothing.
We have no subtlety or deception here. We are very straightforward with what you will encounter.
In fact, it should be pointed out, Sneaky's motto for this particular segment of our channel is
There's always more, and it always gets worse.
Like,
I have
there's
literally
nothing
been
hidden
saying
here.
that for almost 2 years now.
Yeah, there is no fraud. There is no falsehood.
You were not lied to. This is
other
a
two.
backward world filled with other species. Jesus Christ, Naruto.
I'm sorry, could you read that line again?
This is a backwards world filled with other species. That's a bit racist.
I'm sorry. When
Holy
did Naruto
shit.
become the most racist? When did Naruto become, like, not Naruto?
Chosen undead goblin slayer when? I mean...
Okay, so Isley linked the other two existing Goblin Slayer. One is a Fate Stay Night, where it looks like Emiya is in the Goblin verse for Alaya.
Why?
The other appears to be a one-shot with Critical Role.
Oh dear, no.
This is Death Crusher 13 here. I should be writing the next chapter for my Dark Souls Karinu crossover.
Why would you go into it? Stop it. Stop it, Sneaky, please.
No, you can't stop me. Can't stop me now. I'm having a bad time.
Fuck you.
Excuse me. The witch turned and asked. She was used to being hit on. Could you point me towards the library? Naruto looked like he 20, which is same appearance he had when Toneri attacked. Looking at his appearance, he did question why make him look younger, as it not like he looked old before death.
Wait, how does he know that he looks younger?
Because he does.
But
Okay, so no, good news. Naruto isn't the Goblin Slayer.
okay, bad news. Apparently this author thinks that warriors don't know how to read in this world where they have to read quests on a board.
Okay, to be fair, the first thing the guild registration lady asks the priest is, can you read? And write.
Yeah, but here's the problem, is that this bothers me insofar as, like, here's the thing, it makes sense because that particular guild chapter is out in Bumpkin Country.
What is this?
Okay, yeah, but Matt, they have to ask the question, can you read and write? Like, it's a legitimate question to ask.
Yes, I know, in the country. But, like, there's...
But remember, this is a medieval city. Like, the odds that you would get someone that can't read are still relatively
When did
high.
Naruto become a non-human version of a Texan?
What?
Ouch.
Oh.
The shade has been thrown, Nexus. You're just gonna sit there and take it? Anyway. Ignoring C8's obvious bait. Let's keep going. Hello, my name is Naruto, and I am warrior of many arts. This sword is not all I know, Naruto replied as he analyzed the kids. They were green.
Naruto doesn't know the sword at all!
Yeah. No, actually, that's Sasuke's deal.
Most likely they die on killing mission, need supervision, Naruto concluded, looking at their body language. Then should we take on our first mission? Let's, Naruto said as he walked towards the wall and took a mission to hunt goblins, which should be easier to handle than rats underneath. Kill goblins. There are 5 to 10 of them in the vicinity. The request specified, but could it even be trusted? He took the request and went to reception.
I'm sorry. Is this person trying to say that goblins are easier than dire rats?
Yes.
Because they're raw.
How would Naruto even know?
Because the author said so.
No, but how would Naruto know?
Also, apparently Naruto's going to be replacing the Goblin Slayer. He's replacing the warrior from the team that dies in episode 1. But he's going to save them all. And the Goblin Slayer's gonna show up and gonna be like, "Wow, Z, you're like my favorite guy, Naruto. Teach me the sword."
No, it'd be great if the author surprises us. He shows up and goes, "Oh, you didn't die to the goblins. Good job," and then leaves.
And then stabs him in the throat. Counter Guardian. The nameless Guardian finds himself doing another job for Leia. Although this time it's quite different. The same objective remains. Save humanity. Anyway, so blah 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 edgy trash, 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 edgy trash, edgy trash, edgy trash, edgy trash. Ah, my new mission is to go to this world and save the peoples. Okay. He arrives, and people noticed him arriving. And he was not alone. And there's goblins. And he's killing the goblins. And, blah blah blah, Spearman greedily drank air as he killed another undead. Place was crawling with undead. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, this is terrible. This is just bad. It's just god awful bad. Why do they all suck?
C8 would like to know, why is it always a fake cross?
Because it has to be like this.
I'm sorry. Why is it always a what?
A fake cross.
Oh.
Vermin Slayers!
Hey, Sneaky, how about we do the Goblin Slayer 40k one?
That's what we're doing right now.
That's the one he's doing.
I'm just saying. Oh, good.
Warpstone is a fickle thing. After the destruction of the Skittergate, a pulse of pure chaotic energy sends the entirety of Helmgart into another world. Now the Uberstreik 5 and their assistants at Talshorn Keep find themselves with a new yet familiar world. A world where the moon, Morsleb and Mansleb can now be seen in the same night. Warning, this is graphic. Seriously. Right.
Okay, so it seems like they're at least pretty deep into the 40k lore.
I just read this fucking grim-ass manga and was immediately hooked. Nothing like setting up a dark, gritty fantasy setting by having classic JRPG characters getting fucked. Both metaphorically and literally. But in all seriousness, Goblin Slayer is a pretty disturbing light novel. And like Made in Abyss, it's not something I recommend to everyone. Okay, Made in Abyss was just fucked up. Like, that's all there was to Made in Abyss. Just fucked up.
Yeah, that one was just fucked.
I'd recommend...
Like,
everyone.
shit, Grimgar Fantasy and Ash was less fucked.
This would be Warhammer Fantasy, not 40k. Yeah, I know. Yeah, no. In all seriousness, Goblin Slayer is pretty disturbing. Blah blah blah. Writing a new story. So enjoy this Warhammer Vermintide Goblin Slayer crossover. A match made in Sigmar's life.
Yay!
Skittergate. Okay, so it's the end of Vermintide. Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. It's okay. Blah blah blah. Okay, they're blowing up the Skittergate. This is the end of Vermintide. Okay, now they're in the new world. So they all wake up, and everything's exploded, and they find each other again. And I mean, this is like actually like readable grammar and spelling, which is why I'm actually able to just skim through it and say what's going on. Wazooks, you up there? Barden, don't worry, okay. I mean, so he's got an actual grip on how the characters talk, so I mean, you know, good for that.
Hey, that's like 30% better than most of what we read, man.
Yeah. Don't bother with Made in Abyss Nexus. There's really nothing to it besides just, oh, everything is bad and terrible, and watch everything go full horror.
Okay, but I mean, like, you could say the same thing about 40K.
Okay, yeah, but at least there's like big guns and dragons and space laser beams and gods.
And at
of
least
death.
occasionally funny things happen in 40K.
Yeah. That one elevator scene made in Abyss is just... Ugh.
Oh boy, elevator scenes. That sounds like fun.
Well, I mean, it was two glass tubes, and it was these two childhood friends, and they both watched each other rapidly mutate, and the other one exploded into a bag of pus and gore.
What
Because
fun!
that's totally the fucking image I need an hour and a quarter before I go to sleep. Thanks, Sneaky.
No problem. This is why I said don't bother with Made in Abyss. It's literally nothing but just really disturbing scenes.
You know, I always look at this shit and I just, whatever I see shit like Made in Abyss and Goblin Slayer and Berserk, it's like, do you need a hug and some antidepressants?
I mean, the answer is yes, but at least, like, fuck, at least Goblin Slayer is, like, has a point.
Well, you can't declare no spoilers on shit that's been out for literally years.
Yeah.
Made in Abyss has only been out for about a year and a half.
Yeah, okay, so you had a year and a half to do it.
No, I would just say,
no.
for me, my rule is generally 2 years.
The issue is that Made in Abyss didn't start getting officially licensed over here until like 8 months ago.
Meh.
So good job, asshole.
Meh. Anyway, so blah blah blah, blah 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 blah, tunnels, blah blah. Alright, so it's the main characters from Vermintide. They're talking to each other still. Is that a goblin? The goblin died.
Okay, so wait, why are the Vermintide characters in the Goblin Slayer land?
Because they killed the Skitter Gate and it exploded with chaos energy and warped the whole section of the continent there.
Oh, yes. Except the chaos doesn't really do what it does in 40K in standard Warhammer, but it does, but it doesn't. It's weird.
Oh, good. This sounds like some boundary/backyard shit from Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear.
Alright, so it looks like they figured out that goblins have dicks here, and they're gonna burn them all to death.
I'm pretty sure goblins have dicks in normal Warhammer too.
No, they're spores.
No, 40. Are they still spores in?
They're still spores.
Okay, I wasn't sure if they were spores in Fantasy Warhammer.
Yeah, no, they're really vague when it comes to Fantasy Warhammer, but it's still like they're generated from nothing. So. Yeah,
Gotcha.
Oh, whoa! Nexus is challenging Max to Blaze Blue lore.
I didn't say they weren't quite like that, Nexus. I said it's a similar situation trying to compare the two.
Yeah, he
work
said
roughly-
it sounds like.
Yeah, like the boundary and the backyard kind of work the same as the other, but not really, but kind of yeah. And that both say fuck physics. They just say fuck physics in different ways. The chaos is similar. Fuck physics, but fuck physics in this way. I love lore. I love having to learn quantum physics to better understand my stories. God,
Anyway,
no.
so blah blah blah. They're
No,
shooting goblins.
that's-
They're shooting rat
I don't know enough about 40K to actually know that much about the warp, but I know comparing it to them is fucking stupid. It's way more horrifying.
Blah blah.
I was gonna say, look, I don't know what the
blah,
boundary of the backyard is, but it's hard to get more fucked than the warp.
Blah blah blah. They're shooting things. Blah blah blah. They're killing
What was it?
things.
The backyard is like,
Okay, so
this is the space between
while
the
this
space.
is written better, I'm gonna interrupt you guys
The
one
boundary
second. And you can
is
get back to your shit.
time travel, bitches.
So this story is, while it is written far better and it actually like gets all the characters, it's reading like it's just a novelization of a Warhammer Vermintide map.
That is not good.
So, I mean, if that's your jam, then that's your jam, but it's not my jam. So anyway, go back to discussing the warp and the boundary. I'll get another story up.
Yeah, here's the thing, Max. You can time travel in the warp. You just don't have any control over if you do.
No.
Yes.
Well, you don't have. Well, and you have no control in the boundary either. But yeah, no, Nexus. I'm aware. The boundary is like a void that lets you time travel, and just happens to be the repository for souls as well.
That sounds no, Max. That sounds exactly like the warp.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, except the boundary doesn't horribly mutate things
that's fair.
or summon demons.
All right, so that's not like the warp. So it's
yeah, okay.
better than the warp.
The boundary is a void in which souls just happen to chill out.
No
in
shit.
From time to time.
Something is better than the warp? Color me surprised. Anyway, so, alright, so time for some more edgy trash, I guess.
Oh, please no.
This is gonna be a Warhammer.
Where are we getting
Fates
edgy trash from?
Dayfic. So, Fate Incarnate times 4. 4 of the winds of magic are cast mercilessly through the infinite void. When they arrive at a world that immediately attempts to nullify their existence, the 4 winds simultaneously dive into the only living thing in the burning city. A boy with orange hair and yellow eyes. Still, the winds brought more than just their reduced power with them. Rated M to be safe. So yeah, back in November, I was reading this crossover called Cry of the Wind, and I was like, that's pretty awesome and all. So then in December, the author took it down for some reason or other, and then I was like, damn it. Anyway, I figured the premise was like a good idea.
Why are you reading like you're a goddamn Valley Girl?
Yeah, I was about to say.
It was a good idea. It gave me like one of these ones, so like I decided to finally get off my ass and like write this fic, and it's my first fic, so please go easy on me, guys.
Sneaky. Please don't ignore our question. We're worried about you.
Why are you a Valley Girl? Is there something you need to?
No,
Is this your fantasy?
Valley Girl. Like the whole summary just felt Valley Girl.
It did not feel Valley Girl until you started reading it in Valley Girl.
Well,
and then it just sounded like a Valley Girl reading someone else's homework because the bitch was too lazy to do it herself.
I mean, that was my goal, so...
I mean, that seems to be mostly in line with Valley Girls, so...
I am the greatest. Yes, I am.
I was gonna say, this is just a friendly reminder to people that Sneaky once convinced an entire World of Warcraft server he was a girl.
Eat a dick.
If you'd like to know more, please subscribe to our Patreon.
Oh yeah, we need to sit down.
I didn't convince them.
And talk
they
that out.
They convinced themselves. I kind of just didn't disagree.
Let the record show, he did not object.
Sneaky, you have to tell that one. I might someday.
Atin didn't stutter C8.
Yeah.
Heard him.
Yeah, I didn't fucking stutter. When? Back in 2008. Those were the days.
Way back before I met Sneaky.
About like 2 to 3 years.
Oh god, Nexus, that's a good point.
What is?
Okay, so the boundary itself doesn't like mutate shit, but it does contain a substance that does. Oh fuck, I forgot about that. The boundary is just PG-13 warp.
Yep.
Oh my
Alright, so we
god.
started off with a 100 times 100 quote.
I mean, PG-13 warp basically just means you take out Slanesh.
I mean, yeah.
Tone Corn down a little bit. That's about it.
Tone
I was saying,
Corn.
you still have Nurgle, you still have Zeech.
The
nah,
four
Chaos
fragments
like,
of 8
it's
winds
the warp,
of magic.
But no Chaos Gods.
4 fragments of the 8 winds of magic were ruthlessly cast, flying together through the infinite void, intertwined by the 2 F-said winds. Uglu, the wind of shadow, and Shyish has been pried from their respective incarnates rather forcefully that they had taken a part of the incarnate with them. The third was the wind of Chaman, the one that the 2 clung onto as all 3 of them were tossed through the infinite nothingness. Least of them, the one that the wind of metal has tangled with the most was Aquishy. What the fuck?
What?
What are these sentences? The wind of fire that burned brightly, lightning the nothingness the winds were in.
Listen, not even 40k sounds this nonsensical. And I can make up a pretty nonsensical 40k statement. The Adaptus Mechanicus was having trouble dealing with Slanesh's bloodthirster. Like, that's a nonsense sentence. It's more comprehensible than what he just read.
I know, see, Isaac, the problem is I know the lore. My problem is how they're going about describing it that's making me go, what the fuck? The winds themselves were reduced greatly by the unmaking. The wind of metal and fire, Chaman and Aquishy, were the ones who were reduced the most. This was due to the fate of the respective winds of magic incarnations. The head of the Phoenix Guard, Kiayadrandrin, and the human archmage, Gelt. Attention. Still, this was only temporary, as the 4 winds that were intertwined were violently thrust out of the void. The 4 winds were flung through into new scenery, one that smelled of ash and smoke. An unnatural fire rage fueled by a power that was birthed by a power of a vile power nature.
What? How many times do they have power in that sentence?
Were flung, noticed a tiny speck of life admits the carnage and vileness. The need for an incarnation was immediate, as they felt their existence contested by an outside force. While the winds of magic may have been able to eventually overpower this, they were reduced immensely and required an incarnate to recover. Without a moment's hesitation, all 4 of the winds plunged into the body of a dying child that spasmed violently as a new fire burnt out of the one that was raging around the boy. Surprisingly, despite the spasms of the boy's body suffered, the transition was met with no resistance on the spiritual level. It was because the child was empty they had managed to claim him as he expired, so his soul had already departed, but had been called back, though Tai was now very disoriented and fragmented due to the way it had been ripped from the afterlife. The boy's heart started beating as a purer, more bright flames burnt all of the corruption around him and purged the area he was in. Still, the boy did not wake. The Winds of Magic were okay with this, as they too rested in order to once again gain their full power. Am I drinking again? See, you say that like I stopped. Isley followed up with that. Thank you, Isley. No, where was I? It was after several hours that the Winds of Magic rest was interrupted as light flooded the boy that they had chosen, fragmented soul, waking the boy. What? For the first time since he had expired in the fire for the first time. What? As the boy opened his golden eyes, the child gazed up to see his savior was smiling and weeping with tears of joy as the man who had just awoken him, the boy, was the one who had been saved instead. What?
What?
The boy at that
What is
point could
going
only
on?
look at the man with the empty grayish black eyes who possessed the black hair and could only ask himself, if I saved someone, could I smile like that too?
Are they just retelling Shiro's
It's literally
memory
Shiro's
that's
story,
fucked up?
except this time he has laser beams. They're Australian. That
Also
makes so
magic.
much more sense. That makes so much sense that they can't write English at all. Because all Australians are illiterate. Fight me. The first thing Kiritsugu noticed about the place he was in was the lack of Angramanyu's presence. Like the rest of the area he was in, the place was burnt to cinders with ash all around. However, the feel here was different, almost as if the essence of the grail had been burnt away. While the crippled Mangus was grateful for that, he was rather surprised at what he was seeing. The boy he had just placed Avalon in had been healed rather quickly. Too quickly, in fact. Still, the child had gone back to sleep after looking at him for several moments. Still, Kiritsugu was immensely overjoyed that he had actually saved someone for the first time in his life. Kiritsugu managed to carry the boy out of the fire. Still, the boy's condition made him taking him to the hospital when necessary.
What?
Yes. Still, there was a lot of work he needed to do if he were to have the boy stay with him. Kiritsugu himself was also interested in how the boy who seemed to have survived the fire managed to remain intact. Still, the cursed Mangus killer decided that he was a mystery for another time, and he should focus mainly on leaving this place with the boy, as it would be dangerous to stay any longer. Still, Emiya Kiritsugu was glad
Okay,
he
can
had
you
found
stop
somebody to
saying
save, as the
still,
curse
author?
of the Mayu has placed on him and weighed heavily on the man's soul.
Jiminy Christmas trees. They need to use still. They need to use still less. Still.
Okay,
See how
so
annoying
I'm
it gets?
going to accelerate this a bit so we can actually get to the neat parts, and by neat parts I mean anything but this. So block of text, block of text, block of text, block of text, flashback! Okay, so apparently the Winds of Magic brought memories with them, and now the Shiro is learning how to use all of the magics because he has flashback memories. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. The woman that claimed to be his mother echoed inside his skull.
What?
Oh. Oh, you're awake. I'll go inform him that you are. Okay, why is he being, wait, why isn't He is perfectly healthy. He is at 100% health. Why is he in a hospital?
Didn't they just say that they weren't going to the hospital?
Yes.
You know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna go play RimWorld.
Blah blah blah, flashbacks, blah blah blah. The boy has PTSD. Don't trigger him.
I'm sorry. How does the child have PTSD?
Shiro has PTSD. Don't trigger him, please.
Pretty sure he was too young to be able to actually form memories.
Well, no, it wasn't he was too young to form memories. Is he literally just deleted everything. He blank slated himself.
Yeah, he was, I think, 6 years old at the time of the end of the during the Fourth War, and well, shit happened so hard. It's like, yeah, I don't remember anything before Kiritsugu picked me up. So,
The mind protects itself from terrible danger.
Okay, look, the brain does some crazy shit that you're like, why the hell did you do that, brain? Well, it worked, didn't it, brain? I needed those memories. That's the discussion I have with my brain every day.
yeah, like, here's a fic idea. Shiro finds out, actually, he inherited a fortune. It's just been sitting in
Here's
in
a fake
lockup
idea.
because-
This is actually something I genuinely want to read too. Because of the blank slate that Shiro was, shoving Avalon into his soul, kind of fucks him up a bit.
Why?
I want to read
Well-
a fic like that, where Avalon literally gets personified, because
Oh.
That I don't know if that would work. Like, it does kind of fuck his soul up a bit, though, because
no,
Here's
like
the problem,
I'm talking
Sneaky.
about like twisting it even further, like because of the blank slate that is canon Shiro, like shoving Avalon into his soul instead of just like becoming part of his soul, like becomes the foundation for him. And
it
so
did.
like
No, Sneaky, it did. Avalon is why his origin and elements are sword.
yeah.
That is what happened. That is exactly what happened. The only way it could fuck it up even more is like, so I can't actually make blades. What? I can only make things that blades go into.
Well, no, not even that. Like
Oh.
just like straight up, just like I am the personification of the ever distant utopia.
How would that even work?
Protect everyone. AoE healing.
He already
Excessively
does-
attracted to Saber.
You have yet to demonstrate anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah, in fact, the only thing out of the ordinary is the healing, and that's it.
That's fair enough. That is okay. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, he pretty much is Avalon. Jesus Christ.
Ah!
Like, I mean, I guess it's not like excessively attracted to Saber. If anything, it would be like, no, he would be obsessed with protecting her, but he's obsessed with protecting. Oh my god, he is obsessed with protecting her already. God.
Also, now I have the mental image of him just like gripping onto Saber, shouting, "I am your shield! I am your sheath!"
Oh god. Sneaky. He's gonna get Merlin to help her sheathe his sword.
It's just both genders swapped. There we go. Nailed it.
No, I mean remember the reason that Saber Red exists in Apocrypha.
Mordred. Oh god.
Oh, I know. As I said, he's just gonna gender swap the two of them. I'd stick by it.
That. Oh no. Okay. Time travel fic for Shiro. He gets to go back meet Saber, and she's like, "All right, I'm going to introduce you to the man who is essentially my father. All right, Merlin. So we can get an heir now. Right? I got this." Gender swap, Merlin. This is not what I meant.
Merlin, no.
Merlin, we're gonna try for a kid. Oh wait, excellent, I'll help. Poof. Merlin, why do I have boobs? Merlin, why do I have a dick?
Merlin's just sitting over there. It's more fun for me this way. Merlin, leave the room, you creepy pervert. I would like to point out that Merlin's also female in that universe.
No, Merlin is female in the universe where it is male Arthur, I think. Merlin is still male in Artoria's world, but I think he's female in Arthur's world.
Okay, so that might be why I was confused. Got it.
I think. I'll go double check that.
I am reading a fic right now where Shiro does travel back in time and meets child Arturia.
Yes, okay, yeah. Merlin is a female in the male Arthur's world. Good old Fate prototype. I will track you down one day. One day I'll track down Fate prototype. That day is not today.
But why?
Oh, well, aside from it being the originator of Fate Stay Night as a whole, gee, I wonder why I'd want to look at it.
Why would you want to look at that? That sounds dumb.
Yeah.
Okay, you know you guys are saying this to the guy who looks up etymology, right? I like looking at the origins of things. I am fully aware. Just making sure.
I was unaware, but I am aware now.
I like looking at the origins of shit. It's really interesting. Like,
oh boy, here we go, guys. We got some OC scenes right here. Can I save people too? Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. Probably not. I'm not really a good example. What's your name? I'm Kiritsugu Emiya. What's your name? Oh, well, I'm Malekith. Yeah, my name is Malekith. Emiya Kiritsugu blinked at what the boy said. The name he had just stated was a peculiar one, not to mention rather strange name for anyone. The name Malekith sounded something like a magus would name their child, but only the most eccentric ones. Malekith, Kiritsugu cautiously asked. Are you certain that is your real name? It's the only one I remember being called. A woman who referred to herself as my mother called me that. You don't remember things? Nope, I don't remember things. You have condolences for your loss. There's nothing to apologize about. I do not remember them, so I cannot feel bad for losing them. Blah blah blah, witches, magic, a natural, evil, blah 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 blah. This is the child of a ceiling designate. Oh my god. Say kid, since you don't remember anything, do you want to live with me? I accept. Alright, Malekith. There is something you must know. I am a magus. Okay. The adoption.
And
that's it.
Nothing. That's it.
That's it.
Not even like what's a magus? I'll tell you on the way home. Like
No,
not even that.
No.
Just gonna end it like.
Yeah.
No.
So it's just lots of walls of text, walls of text, walls of text, walls of text. Author's note. That's also a wall of text. And then Troll God was like, "What's this? I sense some trolling afoot." Troll. Also, how can you perform Heaven's Fell third true magic? Because he resurrected a bird. Alright, so, I'm pretty sure everyone here has pretty much had enough of, everything tonight.
yeah.
Oh, we calling it early?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna call it early, quote unquote, as in we're not going to 9:45. Early, as in we're calling it at 9:11. Because I'm tired and done. You guys are done. The audience is done.
Everyone is done.
Everyone's done.
Yeah, I think maybe we should take a break from the fanfiction streams, fill something else in. for like a week or something.
I mean, we can always do that if, you know, you had an idea of what to do.
Well, we could always take suggestions from the chat. I'm kidding. That's a terrible idea.
That's a Don't do that, Atin.
Chat, it's not that we don't trust you. Actually, no, it's exactly that.
We don't trust you.
No, it's not that Atin doesn't trust you. It's that I don't trust you. Atin trusts you with his life, apparently.
Alright,
you.
lads.
Oh,
Goodbye,
God, that's a good
sayonara, farewell, and be sure to come back next time at 7 p.m. on Friday, because there's always more, and it always gets worse.